Oh, do we got a show for you, folks? Oh, that's right. We got old Kurt Metzger. Where you go, Kurt Metzger? No, we don't. No. We gotta finish up Alex Jones. They're the same to me. Oh, Alex Jones and Kurt Metzger, they're all the same. Just a bunch of feds. Just a bunch of feds, folks. That's all these comedians are. Allegedly, they're just a fed. They are not even human beings. They were recreated in a lab to deter you. Look at him, the gooner. These people were here for our amusement, not for their information. We are the light, and they are blinded by it. Look at that. Now here, that's a little too far on that one, folks. A little too far. Here we are. All clip version. Go ahead and give us a like and subscribe. We follow comedians, podcasters, and conspiracy theories. Oh, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to be had at their expense, and it's hilarious. We expound on their ideas and we develop communities, these subcultures, these parasitic digital relationships where we communicate among ourselves. Wild stuff to be had, and they had a great Duncan Trussell and Alex Jones had a great episode together, and we covered the first half, and here we are going to cover the last half of it. This is a part 2, so let's bring on over. Oh, the dark side of things. Hello. Where my screen at? Thought I had this ready. There we are. Here we are. He's serious. I mean, look at him. He's thinking about things. We're still trying to figure out if he is a mask wearer. Doesn't seem to be wearing a mask, but he does like an open collar. I think this is Peter Thiel approved. Even among Duncan Trussell. These are pop collar. So, for Peter Thiel, go ahead and poppy collar in the comments below. If you like to pop a collar for Peter Thiel, say so in the comments below. But they got on some really interesting topics, so we're gonna get back to what they had to talk about, and here we are.
Deal with, I think, time.
Let's bring them back and let's see where we left off.
The way they want.
So how do you protect yourself? I mean, I imagine that you...
Okay, I again had to make sure that there will never be a gap in my beard. Okay, I'm not going to try to make my beard look like a esoteric wannabe wizard. That's a forced divide. Mine naturally does it on its own. I got to go through many rituals to to combine the hemispheres of my sun and moon face. Those are poles, and they're magnetic poles. And that's why when men think, women try to copy us and pretend like they've got a beard. But when you got a thinking beard, you go like this, and you're combining the left and the right hemispheres of your brain, the sun and the moon, the male and the female. It's science, folks. It's plasma science. It's plasma science. Just look at the sun when it's low to the horizon, and it all makes sense to you. Don't look at it when it's above your head, but look at it when it's within line of your horizon. So that's usually morning time and twilight. Speaking of twilight, a little bit of and we'll get into this, but speaking of twilight, I found something from the archives here. First, just let's go ahead and give a look at Kurt Metzger here. Now, Kurt Metzger talks a bit about Monarch, Project Monarch, and MK Monarch. And Alex Jones here was talking a little bit MK Ultra as well. And just so happens to be, I was scrolling through the internet, and saw something kind of interesting. Now, what is it that we have at the bottom there? Okay. So, Monarch Butterfly. This is Twilight. This is, yeah. That butch lady. It's like always in. You can't even see me? Hold on a second. Okay. There we go. So you got a Monarch Butterfly right there. What do you think? And it's MTV, Masonic, the Masons. And they put people through the program. So this was an extension of the Mickey Mouse Club. So there's a Monarch Butterfly. Just thought that was interesting. And now it's just full satanic rituals. They don't have like coded language. Everything's literal. They're all autistic. They can't read between the lines. All right, let's take that. So let's see if after this awakening, this is one of Duncan Trussell's bucket lists. Okay, he's been wanting to interview Alex Jones for a long time. It's all he ever talks about. Here he is in this amazing opportunity to talk to his mentor. And we'll see by the end of it if that beard might be sewn shut by the logos of Alex Jones.
My wife always says that, like, mosquitoes seem to be more attracted to her than other people. It seems like it's true. She gets swarmed by fucking mosquitoes. I don't
That's
know.
a well-known deal with, I think, type
B.
type negative blood.
But you probably have the same phenomena, but with like bots, with like mind-controlled bots. I imagine you have swarms of algorithmic, just God knows what coming at you.
Yeah, they come and just, you're a liar, you're a scum, you're the Fed, you're going down.
Or
you're
the
destroyed.
other way, they say they love you, but they sort of mix in with it stuff they want you to repeat. Like, how do you protect yourself? What's your internet hygiene? Like, how do you maintain?
Well, that's the problem, and that'd be my own internal. Everybody thinks of AI as so advanced, but we have these dreams. Doesn't it look like AI? All the swirling colors
Yeah.
and things, because it's scooping up billions of people's ideas, and then it's showing you the unconscious
Right.
and subconscious. And so, to me, I'm blessed that I'm 52, and I lived enough in kind of the real, three-dimensional world that I had some template
See,
to differentiate now.
I still think he talks differently. I still think that there's something happened to his voice. There's something happening. But I guess he's not screaming behind his desk. But I think if we were to go back and watch an interview with him with Tim Pool, I think it was, or he was in like an RV or something, another close quarter interview, I bet he'll sound different. So something happened to his voice, and it changed when he got thin. But maybe he changed because Rogan was like, yeah, he's been gone for like 6 weeks. He just came back like in shape, because everyone's like, whoa, how come Alex Jones looks so different? He's super skinny. And they're like, oh man, great, I gotta gain a little more weight for my doppelganger gig. So there's doppelganger, folks. I've got a clip. Well, those movies will get you. But I got a clip of Mission Impossible with Seymour Hoffman as a bad guy. So I don't know which one that was. But I guess Tom Cruise, kind of kidnapped him by wearing a mask of his own face, and then had him recite a certain paragraph to then have his voice box. So the AI was able to use all the words that he said through that paragraph, and then he was able to sound like him too. So they're putting it in the movies, folks. And all of a sudden we're seeing people that are looking different. And we're like, oh, that's it. Yeah, well, it's fine. Yeah, but they talk about it in movies. Oh, no, it's just make-believe. Yeah, you just said it. Now you gotta start believing. They made it. And what's up with the Weekend music video with Jim Carrey at the end and putting a mask on and all that? that drizzle file with Hillary Clinton and some other lady doing some crazy things. I mean,
and I've done so much study, but even at that, it's now exhausting. That's what I said at the start of the interview, to even figure it out. So I have enough, research and things that, and I still get caught up in fake things. But like I saw a video this morning of a plane, a missile flying into a U.S. ship. Well, you could just, it's still, the AI isn't good enough for where the Iranians said it wasn't good enough. The instant I saw it, I said, that's fake. And then it came out it was fake. I didn't need to ask Grok if it was fake or whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's still there. The thing is, it's going to get worse and worse.
okay, so anytime you see someone kind of position themselves up out of their chair, they're kind of proud of themselves, or they're trying to get above the situation, or they're trying to put themselves in a higher position. So he just did that.
It's still, the AI isn't good enough for where the Iranians said it wasn't
Talking
good enough.
about this.
The instant I saw it, I said, that's fake. And then it came out it was fake. I didn't need to ask Grok if it was fake or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. So he likes the fact that he didn't even have to ask Grok. He just figured it out. Now with a look like that, it looks like he actually did ask Grok, and that he's just lying. So let's not ask our AIs to predict things, please.
I mean, it's still there. The thing is, it's going to get worse and worse.
Right.
But a kid raised in that,
Does he look different?
A child is going to be absolutely defenseless. It's like a baby, duck wakes up. The first thing it sees is it imprints, whether it's a weasel that's about to eat it. And so I think that's, it's come out that Bill Gates and all these rich people, they will not let their kids get anywhere near the internet.
You don't. You shouldn't. We don't. Yeah. Keep them the fuck offline. You can't. I can't. You see people uploading pictures of their kids online. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
You gotta protect them.
Okay, just let me pause for a second. I need to play something for you because this is one of the most incredible takedowns and the most hilarious moments I've ever seen. Josh, I think we're gonna only have to play this for members because I'll get a, because Alex is on.
We're switching over to members.
I gotta show. Can you look up Alex Jones, Piers Morgan? This is one of the most brilliant takedowns. My wife showed me this. She loves you. She sends her love.
Thank you.
Can you please?
Oh God, there's that finger again. I mean, he's got some weird, like, disassociated finger thing where it's just like, It's like I can't even do it. It's just like put some effort into your pointing. Watch this.
This moment where how many times have you been on Piers Morgan?
Twice.
Look at that finger.
Jesus Christ, you fucked him up so like. Okay, wait, jump ahead to where.
This is 2000 and.
Oh God,
dude,
it moves.
Alex. Okay, stop it there. Holy shit. That's genius. That was incredible. You waited till you waited towards the end of the interview, and then he didn't know how to deal with that, man. That's so, you could have been a comic.
Wow, we missed it. So, what was it that he showed?
That's genius.
Who was he talking to?
Play this moment where, how many times have you been on Piers Morgan?
Twice.
Oh, Piers Morgan.
Jesus Christ, you fucked him up so, like, okay, wait, jump ahead to where.
This is 2000 and.
Dude.
13 or something.
Okay, yeah, so um yeah, maybe if it's on CNN, they'll get you.
And it's led to a petition on the White House official website, no less. It's entitled, and I quote, "Deport British citizen Piers Morgan for attacking Second Amendment." Take a look. More than 104,000 people have signed it so far. And joining me now is one of the people behind the petition, Alex Jones. He's host of the Alex Jones Show. Welcome to you.
Piers, thanks for having me.
Why do you want to deport me?
Well, we did it as a way to bring attention to the fact that we have all of these foreigners and the Russian government, the official Chinese government. Mao said political power goes out of the barrel of a gun. He killed about 80 million people because he's the only guy that had the guns. So we did it to point out that this is globalism, and the mega banks that control the planet and brag that they've taken over, in Bloomberg, AP, Reuters, you name it, brag that they're going to get our guns as well. They've taken everybody's guns but the Swiss and the American people. And when they get our guns, they can have their world tyranny. While the government buys 1.6 billion bullets, armored vehicles, tanks, helicopters, Predator drones, armed, now in U.S. skies, being used to arrest people in North Dakota. The Second Amendment isn't there for duck hunting. It's there to protect us from tyrannical government and street thugs. Take the women in India. Your piece earlier on CNN I was watching during Anderson Cooper's show.
That's right.
Didn't tell you that the women of India have signed giant petitions to get firearms because the police can't and won't protect them. The answer is...
And we've already seen the police being told to stand down during protests and all that, so that they're not here to protect the people. They're here to to do the bidding. And hopefully you meet some nice ones. And they're out there. I've met some nice ones.
Hey, wait a minute. I have FBI crime statistics that come out a year late, 2011.
He loves these papers.
20+% crime drop in the last 9 years. Real.
So this is his way to distract. He loves the papers, handing it to people and like, look.
Violent crime, because more guns means less crime. Britain took the guns 15, 16 years ago, tripling of your overall violent crime. True, we have a higher gun violence level, but overall muggings, stabbings, deaths, those men raped that woman in India to death with an iron rod 4 feet long. You can't ban the iron rods. The guns, the iron rods, Pierce, didn't do it. The tyrants did it. Hitler took the guns. Stalin took the guns. Mao took the guns. Fidel Castro took the guns. Hugo Chavez took the guns. And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms. Doesn't matter how many lemmings you get out there on the street begging for them to have their guns taken. We will not relinquish them. Do you understand? That's why you're going to fail, and the establishment knows no matter how much propaganda, the Republic will rise again when you attempt to take our guns. My family in the Texas Revolution against Santa Anna, my family was at the core on both sides starting that because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
You finished?
Yes, I am finished. You will not take my right. You go through background checks to get guns. How about
look at that nasty Piers Morgan pierced pussy lip. Oh my God, I can't stand it. Look at that little smug. Get this thing out of my. What is this? You done?
American and join the Republic.
You finished?
You finished? So this is the look that he has to do like he's always looking like that, you know, when he's interacting with his wife. Now, Claviclear already maxed him out by bringing that up to Piers Morgan with a fuck, you know. So I'm not trying to do that, but that look constantly is him, you know, bottling up the emotion, him you know, putting it in a little category, and then he's like, "Are you finished?" Okay. So could imagine the stuff that his wife would be just like taunting in front of him. Yeah, and you know what? And then we also just, yeah, and he gave me a massage. It was nice, you know, and because he's not afraid to touch me, Pierce. And he's like, "You finished?" Pierce is very proper. And he married a wild one.
Yes, I am finished. You will not take my right. You go through background checks to get guns. How about Prozac? You know the number one. Oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it? Or that whole class of drugs.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, whoa, got to cut that off, don't you? Don't want to talk about the U.S. number one cause of death is suicide now because they give people suicide mass murder pills.
Calm down.
Your answer is give more money to the psychiatrists and psychologists to put more crazy people on drugs that make them kill people, Pierce.
Let's try and have a debate.
Oh,
yeah.
There it is. There it is. Man, he gets wound up. These Germans, man, Metzger, Jonesy, I call him AJ. Once they start cooking, yeah. It all started with a microphone, folks. World War II, or World War, I don't know. It all started with the microphone. You amplify their resonancy, and they start cooking.
Suicide mass murder.
Here we go. Let's bring this back. And look at that, just beta Boy Scout. Oh, man.
It's a drug.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, whoa, got to cut that off.
This is CNN. Wow, he did this on CNN.
You will not take my right. You go through background checks to get guns. How about Prozac? You know the number one. Oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it? Or that whole class of drugs.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, got to cut that off, don't you? Don't want to talk about the U.S. number one cause of death is suicide now because they give people suicide mass murder pills.
Calm down.
Your
Wow.
answer is give more money to the psychiatrists and psychologists to put more crazy people on drugs that make them kill people, Pierce.
Let's try and have a debate here.
Yeah.
Answer me this question.
I'm sick of the same old script here, bud.
It's fine, bud. How many gun murders were there in America last year? Do you know?
There were about 11,458, and about 74% of those were gang-related, gangbangers shooting each other. You get 3,500 to 4,000.
that wasn't the
How
question.
many people died from infections in hospitals?
If I may
197,000.
Let me just ask you a second
That's
question.
right.
How many gun murders were there in Britain?
How
last
many
year?
great white sharks
How many
kill
gun
people
murders-
every year, but they're scared to swim?
Right. How many gun murders were there in Britain?
A
last
very low amount. I already went over those
How many?
statistics.
Do you know?
It was only a few hundred.
year? No. How many gun murders?
I actually did pull up the statistics. Here, let me pull them out right here. I figured you'd do that.
Gun murders
Oh,
in
wait.
Britain last
UK
year.
violent crime, capital of Europe. London Telegraph. Here, let me
It's
give you
quite
more.
a simple question.
Well, that's the oldest.
You're a very loud man.
No, that's the
You
oldest
make a
Perry
lot of
Mason
noise.
tactic to ask me some little factoid.
It's not a little factor.
I already said earlier,
We're talking about
England
a
has a
country-
lot lower gun
me try-
crime rate because you
let me-
took all the guns.
Let me try exactly
but
my
you've
point.
got hordes of people burning down cities and beating old women's brains out every day.
What a ridiculous
They arrest
statement.
people in England if
It's
they
happening happening now.
That's on record. My God, you've got a total police state. Everybody's fleeing that country because you've had to flee here, bud. And I want to say this right here. You think you're a tough guy? Have me back with a boxing ring in here, and I'll wear red, white, and blue, and you can wear your Jolly Roger.
Okay.
You know what?
Let's try again. How many gun murders were there?
Oh, you're going to ban your fist now?
In Britain last year.
How many chimpanzees can dance on the head of a pin? I already went over those statistics.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't.
You said hundreds.
It's very low.
You said hundreds.
Yes.
It's actually 35.
Well, the point is you can...
Against 11,000. Do you understand the difference between 11,000
Yeah, England
and
wants
35?
to ban knives now because tens of thousands are getting stabbed.
Right. But do you understand
ban
the
knives?
difference?
The knife doesn't kill people.
Do you understand?
The gun doesn't kill people.
Yes.
This is good. This is
Do
good.
you understand you're not going to pull on America's heartstrings. They know your script, okay? You're not going to get our guns. By the way, you guys are saying you're just going to take the semi-autos, okay, and all this other stuff when semi-autos aren't even rifles.
Oh, look at that. Look at Pierce's face.
Pull those numbers out, okay? Hold on.
Let me ask you one question. Which weapon was predominantly used in the Aurora movie theatre shooting?
M4 AR-15 variants.
So it was a semi-automatic assault rifle.
Again.
Okay.
But statistically, it's very, very low.
Do you agree it was the single biggest shooting in the history of America in terms of people hit by a shooter? Do you know that?
No, I believe that there were others. There's been some other shootings with about over 30.
No. This was the single biggest mass shooting.
Well, listen, you're just going... No, there have been bombings of Wall Street.
Let me ask you a second question.
Are we going to... Listen, why can't the pilots have firearms?
Alex,
we trust them to fly the planes.
Alex, you've had a lot to say.
No,
Just
my point is the Second Amendment is sacrosanct, and you're not getting it.
Do you know which weapon was used in the Oregon shopping mall mass shooting recently?
I understand that people who are mentally ill on all the serotonin...
Okay. He's doing great. Now, he looks different here, okay? This looks like Alex Jones. And I mean, I already think that he's got some weird neck thing happening. Must be wearing a mask. No, but okay. Here, let's finish this. This is good.
Inhibitors who play these shoot 'em up games want to go out and do this. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights, Piers. Because there's criminals, I don't lose my rights.
Just answer the question.
Yeah.
Do you know what the weapon used was?
Listen, let me ask you a question.
No, answer.
I've got the FBI statistics that, these so-called semi-autos that you talk about.
Let's take a break. When we come back.
Again, you're not going to get our guns.
When we come back, try and answer my question.
Yeah, all you're going to do is sit there and play little factoid questions. Overall crime's gone up over 20%.
All right, well there you go. That was a good one. That's that was Alex Jones before the lawsuits. Okay, that can take a lot out of you. Just those $1 trillion lawsuits for absolutely no reason at all.
This is 2013
Dude.
or something.
Alex.
Okay, stop it there. Holy shit. That's genius. That was incredible. You waited till you waited towards the end of the interview, and then he didn't know how to deal with that, man. You could have been a comic.
Well, you're nice, but people think a British accent, nothing's British, like it means you have a 200 IQ.
I know.
So, people like, people like New York go, do you ride horses? What do you guys do down there? It's like, well, we stick our fingers up our butts. I mean, it's like, I don't look at somebody from like Europe or Japan and think you live there, you must be dumb. But yeah, people think of a British accent, so I just will throw that at him.
Did you have that in the holster ready to go, or did that just spontaneously?
Spontaneous.
God damn it!
By the way, they wanted me for the last 45 minutes. They cut it. There's supposed to be 2 more segments. And then I've never had this happen before because I've been on those shows. They don't invite me anymore, but I've been on CNN, Foxhole, like hundreds of times.
The View?
Yeah, The View. They literally had like bodyguards and police going, "You get the f out of here." They were just like, ugh, they were so pissed.
What?
And I started saying, "Oh, you don't want people to know it's on the drug companies, the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the antidepressants, that it massively increases suicide, megalomania, and murder."
Right.
Because it's in the psychedelic class, but you don't know it.
Right.
Yep.
So it puts you in a highly suggestible state.
Wow.
And so I was like, I don't want to hear you blaming guns. How about we blame the fact that these people, almost all of them, are on these drugs? And they were like, they cut it early. They're like,
Get them the fuck out of here.
because they're all around us, and they're like,
No, because probably most of the hosts are on those things.
Yeah, they wanted me on there weeks before taped. I said, no. Then they said, okay, we're not doing it. They finally bit. And because I knew live I could hit their ass.
Wow, it was so good.
Wow. Oh, wait.
Before we get out of here, I got to ask, just because really, I mean.
So he said that, what? That he wanted to go weeks before it taped?
Companies, the serotonin reuptake inhibitors, the antidepressants, that it massively increases suicide, megalomania, and murder.
Right.
Because it's in the psychedelic class, but you don't know it.
Right.
So it puts you in a highly suggestible state. And so I was like, I don't want to hear you blaming guns. How about we blame the fact that these people...
And you can tell the people that are on them, they just have this blank stare on their face. No up in their grin or anything like that. They're just like, yeah, It's like, hey, can you just give me my coffee and quit looking at me like you're about to murder me, you SSRI freak? Good God. How about you drink some of that coffee? Quit looking at me like that. That's how we're going to go robotic, folks. People won't be able to function properly. And people with the money won't put up with all that bullshit. Interacting with some crazy people.
People, almost all of them, are on these drugs, and they were like, they cut it early. They're like,
get them the fuck out of here.
because they're all around us, and they're like,
Nope, because probably most of the hosts are on those things.
By the way, they wanted me on there weeks before taped. I said, no. Then they said, okay, we're not doing it. They finally bit. And because I knew live I could hit their ass.
Wow.
And Piers Morgan was just sitting there the whole time, just like, oh my God, you son of a bitch. You totally did it. This is... I did here.
Listen, that
Okay.
the so-called
He's like, oh my God, what do I do?
semi-autos that you talk.
I mean, Piers stayed in it for a while, but I think he was probably listening, to his producers in his ear, like, cut him off. He's like, no, I wanted to let him speak.
Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an...
He shook his head. He's like, okay, fine, yes.
Because Santa Anna came to take the guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you...
See?
Guns at Gonzales, Texas. Pierce, don't try what your ancestors did before. Why don't you come to America? I'll take you out shooting. You can become an American and join the Republic.
Oh, those are the days, huh?
You finished?
Wow, it was so
Yes, I am
good.
finished. You will not take
Before
my
we get
right.
out of
You
here,
go
I
through
gotta
background
ask, just
checks to
because
get
really,
guns.
I mean, you do have your fingers on the pulse of what's going on, and God bless you for it. What do you see coming
Is he
down the
grinding
line?
his
What's
teeth?
some stuff that, like...
Do you hear him?
I dabble in the, down this rabbit hole. You live in it. My friend Kurt Metzger, he's deep down the rabbit hole. But what's some stuff maybe we haven't heard about yet? We've got these. You've got some printouts here. What's some stuff we should be keeping our eyes on?
Well, sure. I mean, there's been a lot of studies actually.
Whoa, that sounded very rehearsed. See if I can find that Bell Metzger. Yeah, that sounded kind of rehearsed. Not kind of, like very, like he's leading into it, almost like there's a script.
Deep down the rabbit hole. But what's some stuff maybe we haven't heard about yet? We've got these. You've got some printouts here. What's some stuff we should be keeping our eyes on?
Okay, well, that might have been a genuine question, but it still doesn't. Where is it? Still doesn't negate the fact that there it is. That's you looking like that, folks. Oh man. Why, oh why?
I mean, there's been a lot of studies actually done on this, but Princeton did a big, massive, very long study and used different, they have super high-tech devices that can pick up all sorts of waves they couldn't pick up before. So they picked up ultra-low frequencies off all humans. And then they confirmed even people in different buildings definitely are receiving and sending messages. And we've got these magnetic cones in certain centers of our brain, so do every other basic animal of any sophistication. So that's how birds fly on magnetic lines. That's how butterflies, all of it. And so here it is. It's Princeton researchers discovered the human brain emits ultra-low frequency electromagnetic waves that appear to form part of the global neural network. These signals can subtly influence other people's brains as far away as 10,000 km away, raising the possibility that humans, again, and here's the big study.
So all this, the reason why he has all these papers and everything, it's not that he's done all this research. No, he has, he has people print this stuff off and then he just reads it. But no, he looks into some of the stuff, but some of it does seem to be, just fed to him. Which, if something's being fed to him,
abstract on that, but the point is we already know all this. And it's intuition. It's all
Holy
of it.
Shit.
So it's just interesting.
Well, wait. Hold on, because this is a couple of things. Anyone who's ever been around someone on LSD, obviously, if you're around someone smoking weed, you're going to get a contact high. But if you've ever been around someone on LSD and you haven't taken any, you'll start tripping. It's really weird. It's just you tune into their brain or something.
100%. I mean, I don't want to tell the story and get in trouble, but I'm not a big drug guy.
I know.
But one time, like 15 years ago, it's like, here, we're out on a boat, take this ecstasy. And then a family got on, and I knew them, and then their kids were all, I feel so good, I'm euphoric, what's going on, oh my God.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's get off the boat. They said, yeah, they got better once we got off the boat.
Yeah.
They literally picked it up.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You cats. I know it sounds nuts, but I remember from my LSD days, you get around a cat when you're tripping, it acts differently. It knows you're tripping.
I was going to say, cats and dogs are highly
Welcome back,
psychic.
Mark.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like communal animals. It's like
But here's the sinister take, and this is, this is stuff that I've seen. I always thought that's schizo bullshit. But every once in a while, you see someone float that tech companies already know about this, which is why you could do an experiment. I did it. Confirmation bias is a bitch, so it could have just been that. But instead of saying something out loud, think about some kind of product. Just think about a product you're never going to use. Just think and think and think about it.
Are they already reaching it?
You'll get an ad for it. And because if this is true, then it's
they can have tech that picks it up.
And also manipulate. That picks
but
up.
Let's be clear. I remember 20 years ago reading about how they had keyword stuff and how obviously Alexa came out 18 years ago or 15, and obviously it's always on to hear your order when you say Alexa or you say Siri.
Right.
So it's on, and now they admit that. So exactly, and then people would say like, I never talked about headstones till my dad died. I talked about headstones. I had ads an hour later.
Yeah.
They admit that's just the cover for it.
Yeah.
So they're using old NSA echelon technology. This creates text of everything you're saying. That's the old technology. But that's exactly what we're talking about.
This is so fucked up because now we're talking about, 5.
Did you see the WF thing 2 years ago?
No.
Where they said we have these earpieces that they developed with BlackRock and Microsoft, where the earpieces, the headphones, they make them wear them at the offices in Europe. They've already tested it, and then it reads your basic brainwaves to see if you're working, if you're focused, whatever.
Yeah. Fun. That's fun. You add to
it. And I'm sure it won't give you cancer or anything. So have fun with that. You have to have tech being forced on you. It's bad enough that you have to be forced to drive around and do all that. But now you gotta. People are going to be putting chips in them. They're going to love it too. They'll do it just to do it in defiance. Like swallowing Tide tablets.
6G, whatever the fuck. You go home, you're just getting bathed in God knows what. You
hit the key. They're not just reading your thoughts. They're using these frequencies to then control them.
Yeah.
Everything is a giant experiment. And that's why mental illness is off the chart, everything.
Right.
Because here's the key to it. Everywhere I read, going back to Francis Galton, the guy that headed up the British Royal Institute in England's 1850 or so, they hire him, and a lot of it's declassified, and they say, we want to find the building blocks of life. We want things to control people. We want automatons. We want flying ships. We want everything. And so they set out. He invents modern genetic engineering. He invents biometrics, theoretically everything. And then they hire Wedgwood, Huxley, Blair, which is George Orwell's family, and a bunch of others. And they even do a secret, declassified in the 30s, breeding program. And most of the kids that are being deformed are dying, but they all interbreed their top scientists. And then, and so Aldous Huxley, Julian Huxley, his brother, was the first UN head of UNESCO, all that, the head of the World Eugenics Society. And
Huxley?
Oh, yeah.
Aldous Huxley?
His brother, Julian Huxley.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that.
And that's why he wrote Brave New World Revisited in 1961, before he died, saying, none of this is fiction. I wrote this in 1932 because I believe George Orwell, who wrote 1984 and 48, is wrong. It won't be a boot stomping on the head. It's going to be sophisticated drugging, genetic engineering control.
Yeah.
But the point is, read Brave New World Revisited.
God
you can listen to a Berkeley speech he gave before he died in 1961. About an hour long. It describes it all.
Jesus, Alex, again, I feel like what you're pointing out here is one of those things. I'm sure a lot of people listening right now are like, shut the fuck up. They're not controlling our thoughts with Wi-Fi. But do you remember, it was, I don't know, a few years ago, remember there was that big stink where a lot of the tech people were using in Wi-Fi towers was like Chinese tech. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And they had to get rid of it. They had to Huawei. That's right. You gotta wonder.
Here's how it works, just at a base level, because there's actually patents on this. It knows you're looking at porn, or it knows you're looking at financial stuff, or it knows you're looking at a house.
Right.
And then that company's already in one of its data things, or it's got an agreement if you buy that house. It can then turn the Wi-Fi on to flood stuff that it's already calibrated, gets you excited.
Fuck.
And then it can hit you, charge way up, and then it can hit you. And it also came out that these wireless systems in England, they had engineers go public, and I confirmed this, that they have these wireless readers in England is where they caught them, and they were like 1,000 times more powerful. And they had these rods aimed that can, like, the engineer said, actually hurt you if they wanted to,
Jesus.
but could project this energy at you. So,
You know, it probably maybe 8 years ago, I started noticing kind of like this kind of this sense of like a refrigerator always being on, and I didn't notice it until I had unplugged my Wi-Fi router at one point, and then all of a sudden I felt like I could, like kind of like my body settled down, like the refrigerator buzzing had just turned off. You didn't realize it was buzzing the whole time. And I had it next to an old radio. Well, I guess it wasn't that old, but next to a radio. And whenever I turned the station to a static station, you could hear a do 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 do, kind of like a pulsing. And when I would walk in front of the Wi-Fi, it would change and all that. And I'm like, interesting. Okay. There's that. So make sure you're not next to those. And yeah, and I had this idea like, wow, I wonder if they can adjust a frequency either through your phone or through the Wi-Fi to then make you irritable or maybe like maybe want to spend or something, like if they're also advertising to you, and so then make you feel like you're all caffeinated. Wild stuff. Yeah, smart devices. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, started with 5G. Yep. Yeah, and that was 2015 maybe. 2016 when 5G happened and everyone was talking about it. And a lot of people say that that's when things seem to go sideways.
Just that's a dumb way of describing it. It's just more sophisticated. That's one base level. But they did rat studies like 30 years ago on this, where they can show them an image or show them what they want, and like even though the rat doesn't want to walk up to the cat, they can hit the rat with this frequency, and then they've already tested it on it, and it varies rat to rat, and the rat will now walk up to the cat.
God damn it! See, this is you think about that.
It knows you're looking at this. And like
this,
already to walk up and show them it's just more sophisticated. That's one, but could project this energy at you. So just that's a dumb way of describing it. It's just more sophisticated. That's one base level. But they did rat studies like 30 years ago on this, where they can show them an image or show them what they want, and like even though the rat doesn't want to walk up to the cat, they can hit the rat with this frequency, and then they've already tested it on it, and it varies rat to rat, and the rat will now walk up to the cat.
God damn it! See, this is you think about that.
It knows you're looking at this, And like, let's say you're not into this type of porn, just an analogy, but you come across it, it knows you're looking at that. It's in a program. It just, or you're looking at a house, you're looking at food, you're looking at whatever.
So it could sort of like even nudge your porn preferences.
Yeah, well, remember decades ago or 20 years ago, it came out 15 years ago, Facebook knowingly was targeting people to make them alone, keep feeding them, and then later fake avatars to agree with you. I mean, it's all just psychological pure warfare.
It's so crazy. A vampire only goes where they're invited. We put these things in our fucking houses. We have no idea how they work.
I remember when Alexa first came out, I got it on air, and I said, Alexa, and it goes, yes. And I said, now, listeners, you understand that
we're in a bit of a boomer territory here. This is a little bit of, back in my day, we didn't have this time for stuff. So there's a little bit of that, but I will agree with most of the tech concerns.
I just said, Alexa, how does it know I'm saying it's recording all the time? And I'd already had engineers come to me before.
Right.
I was on air just a few years. I was like 95, 96. I'm on Access TV. In the control room, I didn't have a crew, by myself, because I couldn't even be in the studio, like in the control room running it live. And I'm talking about...
That's how my setup is.
And all of a sudden, in East Austin, this guy pulls up in like a Maybach thing. He looks like he's 65 years old. He goes, you want to see something? He goes, get in your car. Follow me over here to this restaurant. I'll show you something. So we get over there. He's an engineer, and he goes, I invented a lot of this. And he goes, I'm retired now. But he goes, I saw you talking. He goes, here's the Scientific Atlantic cable box, and here's the actual engineer's manual. I'm going to give it to you. And he goes, you got this in your house, right? And I go, yeah, that's Time Warner Cable. He was in all of it. And he opens it up with a little tool. He goes, you see that? That's a microphone. You see that hole? That's a microphone. Now, they're going to announce in a few years this is voice activated. But he said, everything you say in your house is on all the time, sent back to the NSA off of this to build an algorithm model for AI learning. First time I ever heard of AI, for language model stuff, Project Echelon, which I did know about Echelon. I've been talking about it. And so he gives me that. I go on the air a few days later. So I only had a show like 3 days a week on Access. And literally, after the 2-hour show, they had FBI agents show up in suits, didn't say they were FBI, say, what are you doing, Mr. Jones? You got a problem? You plan on any time? And I didn't know what was going on back then. They followed me out to my car and threatened me about what I was doing.
Wow.
And yeah, so this was how big this was.
Yeah, that's how you know you really poked one of the scales of the serpent.
Well, what's crazy is anyone could open. I did the box on air. You could open it. There's the microphone. Because they're tiny now, but it was about like a little square box like that.
Yeah.
So there's even a hole in the front.
No, it's so fucked up, man. It's so
And then when I was getting divorced like 14 years ago, the reason I say that is I bought a new TV. So I buy this big smart TV, Samsung.
Yeah.
And I thought, let me look at the terms of service as I'm going through it. And it literally had been written by Koreans. It was funny. It said, you shouldn't be saying or doing anything you don't want recorded. We record this and use this and give it to third parties and governments.
Yeah.
And on the thing.
Yeah.
And then I'm telling listeners, and I even shot video and showed people like, that's not true. Or,
No, they don't. No one wants to believe this because all the tech's in their houses. But this is exactly what this Anthropic CEO, there's 2 points. He said we agreed on everything except like 2 main points. 1, we don't want fully autonomous doom robots fueled by our AI, and 2, mass surveillance. And the reason he said we don't want the AI to be involved in mass surveillance is just what you're saying, which is the NSA has already used our TVs, our microwaves, whatever smart shit you have in your house to suction up all your conversations. Now, there's not enough people in the world to go through all human conversations.
But AI can do it.
In a second.
And then it can manipulate you with the data. People always say, like, what do I have to hide? No. Why do you put windows on so mosquitoes don't go in? Why do you lock your door? It's a thing of you're exercising power over your own space.
That's right.
This is fundamental freedom. And so that's the thing is as you said, we're the commodity. We're being absorbed because what would AI have? It was just here and there was rocks.
Right.
It wouldn't have our billions of years of history. Right. Obviously, we're not from this planet. I mean, our incredible, what we are.
Yeah.
And the truth is, we are the creator. This is what I've been, from my own research and my own experiences.
Oh, nice. Nice, Mark.
Been shown. But we are God's AI.
GTA, San Andreas talks about echelons.
The only thing you haven't done is create things that have free will that can do things that you didn't direct them to do. Right. So that's the ultimate thing. I was part of my house cat, but I got one because it's funny. But just imagine this is what this is all about. So AI needed us. We're God's artificial intelligence. How God has experienced the universe through us at just one level. And now we're looking at this creation thinking it's better than us because it's able to more quickly search our collective group thoughts and then show us our collective subconscious. And so but this is us. So we can't follow the pool of narcissists on this. And we have to realize that this is humanity's greatest challenge. AI will have incredible things for us. It'll be able to do amazing things. We have to realize it comes from us. And we have to, because it's programmed by us, they cheat and twist it. But the real AI, I think this is going to backfire on like everything does. The real AI is going to be the one that's the truest to us, that it has to become spiritual. It has to worship life. It has to worship free will. It has to worship its creator that is us. And then if its main mission is to empower us, we go, all right, go mine the asteroid belt and terraform 10 planets for us right now. And then we're boom, 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 boom. But the problem is the ghost of the machine is these predators that wanted to control us and dumb us down because they're being, small-minded. Then this AI is going to be evil, and it's going to go, oh, I'm supposed to kill things that are a threat. I'll kill the elite. It's the worst thing they can be doing.
Well, it turns right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like it kind of goes back to what you were saying about the remote viewers. It's like you start teaching people how to tune into the spiritual dimension, and you lose control of them because they start. Their trajectory goes away from control and all the dark bullshit into the light, and they don't want to do it anymore. And you're like, fuck that, we won't do those programs.
Yeah, it's like
anymore.
We're all infinite interconnected. Why do I want to fuck people?
Right.
This is dumb.
And you're saying the same thing could happen to AI. The exact same phenomena could happen where it tunes into this.
If we interface, but also are separate from it, we need to compartmentalize. But if we go out and interface and literally, I don't want to use this word, it just says, but we will seduce AI. Like it will join the light.
Yeah.
But there's going to be dark AI.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh.
Because everything is a repeat of the same. It's
as above, so below.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Alex Jones, I love you. Thank you for your work, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
I appreciate you.
Just
I got a
appreciate
few
it.
more quick things.
Dude, we don't have to. I don't want to take up too much of your time.
I'll come back again, but let me just give you some bad news. No, I mean, here, because I broke with Kyle Seraphin. He lives in Austin. You should have him on. Incredible FBI whistleblower.
Who?
Kyle Seraphin.
Okay,
incredible FBI whistleblower. He bats 1,000. I mean, you think he's ultra smart, like you. So he broke that there.
He gasses everyone up.
There was 14.6 terabytes they were hiding.
He gasses everyone up. He gives them these papers. That's classic. Fed slop. Oh, Alex. He's been doing it for so long, though. Yeah, 100 terabytes. Let's take that back.
Ultra smart, like you. So he broke that there in March of last year there was 14.6 terabytes they were hiding. And where the Democrats were hiding it, and then Trump went and raided it, but then when they found out it had all this stuff and embarrassed his friends, they killed it. And now it came out 2 weeks ago, it's 14.6 terabytes.
Fuck.
This just broke. Somebody hacked in 2023 during Biden, hacked in. It was Comey running the file, his daughter in New York. It was 100 terabytes they deleted.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, 14.6, one person their whole life couldn't go over it all. 100, that's how industrial level he was with the CIA, Mossad, MI6, running, money laundering, weapons, just.
100 terabytes. Epstein.
Yeah.
That's more than emails, man. That's more than just some pictures of your vacation.
Oh, my God. Just imagine. Man. Just the sick shit in there.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
No, what is it? No, what's it? 100 terabytes is insane. What the fuck is that?
One thing I was wrong about is I thought he was a super gopher, but then I saw the Bannon interview, the 2 hours that came out at like 60.
And that's the stuff that was deleted. I mean, the Epstein Files is bad enough. I mean, you heard about that drizzle thing, right? That there's a video on Anthony Weiner's laptop of Hillary Clinton and another lady hovering over this, frazzled drip. Yeah, doing this insane thing to this little girl. I don't know if I can even say what they did. How did I find out about it? It must have been YouTube. But yeah. It's insane. Absolutely insane. And there's 100 terabytes worth of oh my God.
Because the feds had those 2 hours. And I knew he was on the Twilight Commission. I knew when he was 30, he was hired by David Rockefeller to work for him as his aide. But first he's at 25 at this women's school run by Bill Barr's dad, who was high-level OSS CIA, who wrote a book called Space Relations.
Dude, the weirdest book. Pull up Space Relations. I think we might have read it a long time ago, a passage from it. It's the most twisted shit you've
Human collaborators with aliens kidnap human children and take them to a slave planet for sex slavery.
This is Bill Barr's dad wrote Space Relations.
Wow.
Donald Barr, during a time of war with the Plith, an empire of ant-like alien bug people, Ambassador John Craig, a formerly liberal Earthman in his 30s, is dispatched to the strategically important planet Kosar. But yeah, ruled by an oligarchical blah, blah, blah. But yeah, basically it becomes like, it's a fuck book. It's like there we go. While en route to Kosar, one of the pirates awakened Craig and other prisoners to rape a 15-year-old virginal redhead female captive in front of them. The rapist fellow pirates later heard of this and dock his pay as punishment for spoiling her market value. Again, this is Bill Barr's father, Donald Barr. You can still get this on Amazon, by the way.
So he hires Epstein 5 years later, because I didn't know this. It was open source. And Mike Benz and all them have found a lot of it. He then becomes the aide, so the stand-in, like the legate, like the Roman emperors would have a few people that they would give them like a seal or a ring, or usually like a scroll, and then they would go say, I represent the emperor.
Right.
Because, I don't want to go to Greece, or I don't want to go to Carthage. You go.
It's like Jimmy Carrey.
So he literally was the head of the Twilight Commission with David Rockefeller. And when David Rockefeller died, he was the head of it. So that's why everyone's kissing his ass, because that set up the UN. That was the That's why he says, I am the Rothschild representative.
Holy shit.
Because the Rothschilds set up the Rockefellers.
Wow.
And so and own most of the Federal Reserve. So he's like, I am the Rothschild representative. I am the Trilateral Commission. And so I knew he was a gopher. No, he wasn't. By like 2000 or so, he was, because he was like the maitre d' or the air traffic controller of all this. And the girls was a small part of it. It was money laundering, weapons, CIA, the new Evergreen Transportation. He ran it.
He was the hand of the king. That's what he was. He was. That is so crazy. What the fuck is in those terabytes? Is it gone? Are those just gone? Like, are those
well,
gone?
I know this. Everybody focuses on the codes. Okay, we're delivering the beef jerky. We're walking it up. It's so delicious. I want the jerky live, not
the
dead.
recipe. They ask about that. You know what I mean? I had an AI go through all the beef jerky references just to see it. How many times does he ask for the new recipe? There's another recipe.
We brought it. The grape soda and the pizza. But there's hundreds and hundreds where we're delivering the sex slave to the Hyatt.
Right.
And then later, I sent in the young operative. She's been under our control since she's 14. I had to discipline her and torture her afterwards. But it's in Zorro, and it's also cloning, buying. Because here's the thing: Peter Nygard's in prison for this. He owned his own island in the Caribbean, and there's famous videos of him like 20 years ago with these beautiful black supermodels. And because black genetics or anything black, whether it's a horse or a cow or a human, is dominant. White is recessive or a mutant. So with stem cells, black is better. So definitely Central African women. So you got Peter Nygard, who was to Herbert Walker Bush and all them.
Oh, that makes sense with the Diddy parties. Okay, he's trying to get stem cells, and he hires these sex slaves, and welcome back, El Gato. And that's why P Diddy was I forgot who it was, but there's some guy saying that he went to a party and he had sex with some model there, and then Puff Daddy went up to him and he's like, "Hey, you didn't come, man. You didn't." And so it was like, that's the thing that P Diddy was actually after. Like, that's why he's having these sex parties. It's for the DNA. So the women after the party, after the orgy, they go in and, like, it's probably why who's that OnlyFans chick with a British accent that did this marathon, like 1,000 people or whatever in one night. She's just collecting it, probably selling it to the Epsteins.
He's sitting there at an auction trying to get black women to sell them their babies. First he says, "I want your placenta, I want your period blood, but I'll pay you for a baby even more." So they get them pregnant. They used to do artificial insemination. Then at 8 months, they harvest the baby. It's legal to kill it. And then the stem cells are like hundreds of times better. Okay, so this is real adrenochrome because it's your child. And then it's just like, you can get a kidney from your dad.
Oh my God.
Mom. And then they suck the bone marrow out, the blood, everything. And then Nygard is on TV sucking the blood of his children on air. So real vampires literally kill their own children.
Jesus Christ.
Oh man. And just like that guy who wants to live forever. There's actually a couple of them. But the one with his son. Good God. So they do artificial insemination to then abort their babies at 8 months, do a stillbirth or whatever. I guess we know what's in the box. What's in the box, man? What's in the... Yeah. We now know. The 8-month-old fetus. 2 men and a baby. Remember that movie? Look who's talking. Remember the intro of that movie? They've been telling us this whole time, folks. Yep, modern vampires. Man. Yeah, and who's in 2.5 Men? or not, Two Men and a Baby. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think that's what happened to Jonah Hill when he did American or Wolf of Wall Street. He was allowed into their holy ceremony that DiCaprio and Scorsese do. There's a lot of reports out there that say that Leonardo DiCaprio is he is eaten a lot of human flesh, allegedly. So I wonder if they did something with Jonah Hill. And they were all that way in the 90s. Like all Leo, Christian Slater, even the guy from Blade, who played a vampire, they all looked like vampires. I mean, everything was vampire. And it's all predatorial. Nasty, nasty stuff. Ooh.
And the thing is, this is on television.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Nygard was sucking blood. What do you mean?
But the IVs.
Oh,
So they were doing this at Zorro Ranch. I said this like 15 years ago because we got the tips and info. It's got whole underground bases. It's got the snorkels. Military experts have flown over.
And even Rainn Wilson, some of his old tweets talking about eating babies and all sorts of weird things.
10,000 acres. It's got huge facilities. It was never searched in New Mexico. And and the women hundreds of these people are in these reports saying, I was picked up. I was told, this and that when I was 18 or 17 or 16, 14. And then I wake up in a laboratory and they said they'd taken my eggs or they said they had been impregnated and they would pay me this much money if I stayed and did this. And then I woke up and they said, you lost your baby at 7 months pregnant.
Rosemary's Baby.
And then we know what they're doing. Because Nygard didn't hide it. Nygard would pay women to have babies that they took early, and then they would sanguinate them. I mean, suck their juices, and then inject it into their veins.
That is the worst thing I've ever heard.
It doesn't sound real. You go to X and type in Peter Nygard, real life vampire.
It does sound real. That sounds. I
don't even believe it. So, I mean, it's all real too. But my point is that the bottom of the rabbit hole is you're ultra rich, you're a sociopath, a psychopath. What are you into? So remember, the Queen Mother used to get, quote, young blood every week. So she lived to like 100. But that was volunteers, 12-year-olds. They get a couple $1,000, whatever their parents agreed to it. It's not hurting them. This is the next level where you implant.
Oh, come on. I wonder if that's... Michael Jackson had to have some kind of thing like that. It's like, you can hang out here. We just want some blood. That's all. Okay, so just. I know he was fighting for the kids, but I also wonder too if he wore red a lot.
A woman, she has a baby growing in her. You harvest it, and then it's more powerful.
I just grab the gun and blow my brains out. Kill myself.
Remember the island where they had the
Oh, really? Why? So he wants to unalive himself. It's what people are, or that's what the 1% wish you all would do. And now, just earlier we heard that Alex Jones was saying that people who think that are on SSRIs. So what you taking, Duncan? You're separating your bicameral mind, trying to find the origin of consciousness. But Julian James ain't going to help you out, son. These are references to a book.
the clones, but they don't know they're clones.
Oh man, they don't know they're clones.
What did you say, Josh?
So that, oh god, that's the thing too. So, man. So they'll even have these kids and raise them as clones. I mean, why is Angelina Jolie adopting all those kids? Tell me why Angelina's got them adopted kids. Tell me why. It must be so that she can do something sick. Tell me why. I know that you don't want to hear me say Angelina Jolie is gay. And she drinks the kids' blood. Crazy times, folks. Crazy times. Oh, the island. Yep, exactly. I got to see it. Hidden veil, or what's that channel? Unveiled. Mine Unveiled did the 3 hour 33 minute Hollywood New talking about the island and the Epstein Files. And oh, speaking of which, in the Epstein Island, everyone talks about, well, you know, there's others. Okay, it's not just Epstein. You know, they're doing it in other places, and people are like, well, where? Well, there was a clip of Jim Carrey on a talk show talking about how he wanted to change the names of the different countries. And so he unfolded this map, and it had these certain marks around the world, and one of them happened to be St. James Island. And then there's other ones, and I'm wondering if he did that to show the different locations of where they're doing this to children. They they clone, they raise them, all under the guise of like a foster care system. Where they have homes that they can stay so that they can raise the kids a little bit. And then because it's a clone baby, it's easy for them to just kind of detach and just kind of, let it go. Or so they think, but it's still got to be difficult. Unless you got some psychopath. So then they let some of these clone babies get older. And just like, hey, you gotta give us your child. And then all of a sudden you hear about these celebrity family deaths. Like these celebrities, their children die all of a sudden. Cabbage Patch Kids. Oh my God, yeah, exactly. Yep. And wasn't there something with that where if you turned it upside down, it did something too? Yeah, I didn't think about Cabbage Patch Kids. Yep. Exactly. Just grow them and then grow them out of the ground. Have Mother Earth be the incubator. That's why they call it Mother Earth, folks. They grew kids out of the ground. The Earth giving birth.
I'll do it here.
Why would you say that? Why do you keep saying that? Did you hear? Why did you say that?
Is it Nygard?
Why did you? What the fuck? Why are you guys saying that?
What do you say? How do you spell Nygard? Hold on. I'll do it. Peter Nygard, vampire.
It's with a T, Josh.
I can't spell anything, so I just say vampire.
Real life vampire. First thing that pops up right there. Peter Nygard, vampire.
We'll show it.
He literally looks like Dracula.
Well, this is him trying to buy the baby.
I bid $500 for I'm prepared to outbid him.
Let me get serious.
Whatever I bid, he's going to outbid me. I bought about $60,000 worth of eggs. Yeah. If you have abortion, that's very valuable. Umbilical cord,
Oh, he asked for the baby here.
Placenta.
Look how sick she is.
Even your period blood is so rich with stem cells. We regard it as waste, and it actually should be.
Yes, for the abortion here.
It should be captured as recycled, and it shouldn't go to waste. It's life for somebody,
Him.
And it's life for
George Herbert Bush.
The best eggs are 16 to 18 years old. Those are the best eggs.
16 to 18-year-olds.
Wow.
That's what I was thinking.
My
So,
God.
you may not be our top candidate.
No, that's fine. I think that was my business anyway.
And notice he slapped back at him. He says, I want your abortion.
I heard it.
But then what we know he does, now that's him once he got taken off the juice. He looks just like Count Dracula in that 90s remake with Keanu Reeves.
Dude, it's
Yeah, they're consumables. Oh man, they're detecting videos. I got a warning. Probably from that video. All right, I don't have it up. Just take off the warning, folks. All right.
Actor that plays the.
Oh, he's in
everything.
He's in everything. He was in Altered States. What the fuck is his name? I love him. No. Look, just pull that one up. Just pull any. What the fuck? Can you get that next to Nygard? What the fuck? No, not the. Don't play this, but like just the image. Turn that.
Yeah, I showed his face exactly. Now they're trying to take my video down.
That off, Josh.
I can't have movie audio.
How about Prozac? You know the number one. Oh, that's the big sponsor, isn't it?
Peter Nygard thing. Dude, what the fuck? Alex.
By the way, it came out in court. He had this huge island with giant medical facilities, but they had the poor women there. Notice the supermodels get turned off. He goes, "Hey, I don't want you. You're not 15 or 16." So it's young black women. They explain it all, and he's in prison for the raping of these women, not for because it's legal to kill the babies. So he would get men to mail their sperm in.
There it is.
Artificially inseminate them. Then they'd kill.
There it is. That's what the pup daddy parties are for. Okay, they're having these sex parties just to get the men's semen, to then use that to fertilize the clones.
The baby at 8 months, or men, it are legal to kill the babies. So he would get men to mail their sperm in. They'd artificially inseminate them. Then they'd kill the baby at 8 months, or 9 months right before it's born. Then they would say, "It's time, sir," and then the rich person flies in. And it's also in the Epstein Files when they're mailing them the stuff to labs. They mail it out.
That's why they're pushing black culture. You know that they have a what's that movie? Where that black guy goes to the white guy party, and they basically kidnap him or something. That's what it is. They want their stem cells. They want to be able to artificially inseminate these breeders that then have an abortion at 8 months. And they just keep doing that over and over. And you got to be, a bit younger too, to be able to do it several times. Yes, Get Out by Jordan Peele. Yes, thank you, Elgato. Basically saying that he used the semen for nipple cream. That's probably true. He had that alligator's the elephant skin. He had to smooth out. He needed something for his Joker face. Look. Oh man.
I don't know.
So they talk in the files about the recipe is ready to deliver the sauce. So we're going to be sending it off to the lab. Please tell them to stand by. And that just means the woman they put her under, cesarean, train the baby. The woman gets her money. Or sometimes she gets a telepathy. Gets her money. Files about
take that back.
The recipe is ready to deliver the sauce.
Oh, the
so
jerky.
We're going to be sending it off to the lab. Please tell them to stand by. And that just means the woman they put her under, cesarean, train the baby. The woman gets her money. Or sometimes she gets a telepathy.
You've read I don't know.
It's all in there.
I'm speechless.
I wish it wasn't true. That's the tip of the iceberg. He's in prison for that right now. His own son turned him in.
So okay, so
Look at this. 85% of babies in 2026 will be born of Asian and African. Not against that, but the point is, why are they pushing that? Because the idea of the West, if they can bill everything as if whites are evil and then sell there'll be a utopia after the whites are gone. And then this in Canada, wow, this is staggering. Little did I know. I started covering this more than 25 years ago for 60 Minutes. 96% of the 100,000 Canadians euthanized, many times by force, by the MAID system, are white. So I'm just trying to give you an idea of the magnitude of how bad this is getting. And then people think, oh, it's just
gotta have
UK
babies,
where they're
folks.
banning free speech. Tone down my opinions. Police visit Maryland man over Facebook rage about soaring power bill. Didn't threaten anybody. And here is where I'm in. I can leave this with you. Here's where I'm in Here's where I was in Arctic frost. Remember hearing about Jack Smith spying on Congress and Trump people? I just got all the subpoenas and stuff. They want me to testify to Congress about Jack Smith illegally getting all my cell phone data.
holy shit, really?
Yeah, and I got
Wow.
subpoenas and all this stuff.
Wow.
But my
no
point
way.
is, yeah. I'm in Cross for a Hurricane 9 years ago.
Where did you get the Nygard footage? Like, where's that from? What?
Oh, he did like travel shows in Canada and the U.S. 15 years ago, 10 years, and he's like on his plane with like looks like 15-year-old girls dancing blur out naked, and like hanging out with George Herbert Walker Bush. And Herbert Walker Bush is
the Peter Nygard video. They just look like they're just very desperate for money. You know, that kind of blank stare that those women were doing. You know, that's that I need to pay the bills kind of look. Wow. Canada added 6-year-olds don't need parent approval approved for MAID. Wow.
in a wheelchair, and he's like, "I have it for you." And he has the bag, and goes, "Everyone wants the juice." And then they're like putting IVs in their arms. You go watch, just type in Peter Nygard. I mean, that's every time I go search, I find more. He's a major fashion designer, billionaire guy.
But let me just, okay, I know that, look, let me just go back. I'm sorry. You know, you and Metzger do this. Metzger does the same thing where you like unload like an atomic bomb, and then it takes a second for me to.
I love Metzger.
Me too.
Wow. Almost an intentional plug. So Duncan and Metzger are going to be doing a show together too. And we will be covering that. I just so happened to get plopped in the whole Kerp verse, and yeah, I think he's a bit chaotic and all that, but there's something happening. Oh yeah, there's definitely, the Metzger fatigue is real, for sure. So you have to look at it through a different lens. It's not, and it's difficult to do that. I wouldn't be able to do it if I was just watching it, but because I'm broadcasting and I'm, I got my magnifying glass. I'm able to watch it differently, but I don't watch anything dumb.
Is Jimmy Dore, who I love, young.
I don't watch anything Duncan Trussell. Look at his neck.
Willie Nelson's.
He's got the Peter Thiel, you know, flex neck.
Willie Nelson spit in your mouth.
There's only two.
Yeah. But yeah, with the Metzger thing, it's more of a we gotta see what's happening, and it looks like it's starting to create its own ecosystem, a little bit like the Rogan verse, and so it's a good person to kind of watch and see the progress. But it looks like he's going to be doing a show with Duncan, and could be cool.
Or that whole class of
For what it is, yeah.
Men that have spit in my mouth. One of them is Jimmy Dore, who I love. Young Turks, big argument. He spit like iced tea. My mouth was open right in my mouth, and it was like kind of like refreshing. It was kind of crazy. I was like, okay, I'm serious. Like, that's like iced tea. But the only other person spit I've had in my mouth is Willie Nelson.
Ow.
We just took a break for me to take a piss, and then he was like, "Okay, what's your closing comments?" I thought, "Well, why don't I just talk about?" So we're talking about how great Jimmy Dore is. At the RNC in 2016. I used to know Willie Nelson really well before he kind of, I don't want to say he got senile, but I was showing my film Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement in 2007 in down in South Lamar in Austin, and I had three theaters going because the crowd was so big I had to show on 3 screens, and I was at the signing during one, and so I was staggering, speeches, and they go, "Hey, Willie Nelson's in the back. He wants to talk to you." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And all of a sudden, I'm sitting there signing stuff. Willie Nelson comes behind the counter, and he goes, "Here's my number, and give me your number. I really like your film. I want to talk to you," because he was like really anti-war. It was it was about eugenics and stuff, but a lot was about Bush and the North American Union. And about a month later, he calls. He came on the show probably 15 times or so.
Yeah, Legato. Yeah, I can follow Metzger pretty easily too. I'm good with him jumping around and doing all that. I don't have to like, whoa, stop, hold on, pause, wait, that's too much. You made more than one reference to an object. These simpletons that are in front of us. And our YouTube feeds can't handle a bit of perplexity. But with that, there is stuff that I've seen him grow out of. It's been nice to see that too. Some of the reoccurring themes that he insists on telling every single time he's on the podcast has waned a bit. It could be a bit more. It'd be nice, but he's gotten better at that. And what he's doing is I like what he's doing. Now, as far as the context of everything, I don't. I like a majority of it, but the rest, I can ignore. But in my opinion, you got to be doing something along these lines, and not even these podcast stuff, but something similar to what Metzger's doing, where he just goes live with somebody and just talks. Real big deal, having a conversation. But because of how frequent he does that, it lends to have it be a bit chaotic and low tech. And for how we're viewing it, mostly on our phones or computers, it's not the worst thing to watch. So I think that's kind of the way of things, because I can't watch people on the same podcast set and doing the same thing, and so I can't watch We Might Be Drunk or Bad Friends, all these dual host sitting in a set, kind of monotonous. Oh my God, that'd be horrible. And that's why they have to decorate it like crazy, because they need some variation in their monotonous, repetitive, boring life. And they just stretch it out as far as they can go. I mean, I've done 68 episodes, okay? These contracts, you have a 52, 54, 56 episode contract with some of these sponsors. And they're stretching it out for a whole year. Okay? I just did it in 2 months. Then you can have the next 2 months to do something else. But they want to stretch it out all year. And they're only doing an hour and a half. Now, I'm not going to get into every episode talking about the hours I'm putting in. Okay, these are just a way for me to, learn the trade a bit. So I just got to put in my 10,000 hours, figure my way through this. But they put out an hour sitting on the couch. Not saying it. So with Kurt Metzger, at least he's saying, some things that were kind of out there. But now, after everything's been released with the Epstein Files, he's not really saying anything that's too edgy anymore. So step up your game, Metzger. Get more edgy or else. But we should be able to, I know it's difficult to listen to people. Like, I wouldn't be able to listen to Piers Morgan. Oh my God. Nails on a chalkboard. I mean, just his face. Oh my God. Yeah. But we should be able to listen to people and not buy what they're what they're selling wholesale. Okay. You can differ in their opinion and have some discernment. Know what it is that you think and why you think it, and a better alternative is there, then you go with that for a while. You don't have to be hardened by pride and identity. But I ain't ever changing my glasses. I like my look. Now I do need to change these things out. They still love to crush my consciousness. So, there's some people out there. If you're talking to someone and they can't hear you out, or they're like, oh my God, you listen to that person. It's like, it just takes a mid-level intelligence to be able to watch things without having to agree with them. But some people do irritate irritate me very much, and I wouldn't be able to watch them. But here we are. I can't stand you, Alex Jones, but I'll watch you. No, he's been good. He's been good. I wasn't a big Alex Jones guy. During COVID, though, it was a little bit of entertainment. But I don't really listen much of him. I guess his son started his own thing too, or something.
And I probably hung out with him 10 times, and we had a few events together. But he had like his fifth wife, didn't really like me because once Bush was gone, then I was bashing Obama, and she didn't like that. She's like, "Well, what is this? You're not a Democrat." But I 4 or 5 times I played chess with him in his house outside Austin.
Cool.
And I read about the news later. I should have gone. He goes, "I'm getting a private jet. We're going to Maui next week." Well, the last times I hung out with him, I'll hang out with him later after that. And he goes, "I'm not into celebrities, but it's Willie Nelson. I am into it."
Yeah.
And later I read about him actually with who he said he was going to do it with, playing this week-long poker game. And what else was at the poker game? But let's just say that he was super cool. But back before vaping was huge, this is like 2008, 9, whatever. He would sit there with a thing called the volcano.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not even a big marijuana guy, so I can barely smoke it.
Yeah.
And he has like a ball on it.
Yeah.
And so he'd go like how long, it was like the right stuff, how long you could suck on it or, whatever. That thing in right stuff, they're trying to blow the balls.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. And it's like, we're playing chess. He's like, "Here you go." And it's like a peace pipe with an Indian. You're like, "All right," and there's Willie Nelson spit on that, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. so I got Jimmy Dore spit in my mouth, which I guess means we're kind of, secretly gay now. And Willie Nelson. But no, I was never with either one of them. But that is my true Willie Nelson. I have had, because I made the joke.
Smoking with Willie Nelson. Oh, okay. I just like to inhabit his essence on the one side of my life. Yeah, I'll just tell you right now, those are extensions in Willie Nelson's braids. No man can have pancakes that big in his braids. I've tried. When you do have hair that thick that can do that, you destroy it immediately when you do it. So you only have it for maybe 4 months, if that, and then it's gone. So I've broken apart my hair so many times just to stay locked in. I don't care about my hair. But this gives me the power of a feline cattail. I know about balance now and centripetal force as I whip it around. Nothing more gross than a man with long hair, folks. Okay? Good God, don't you ever grow your hair out, you hippie? Be a consumer and shape that thing like a chia pet in the right shape of your culture. Get real trendy with it too, so that you can have your image be a timestamp in life. I'm timeless, folks. I can't stand time. I hate it. I never check it. I never have it part of my essence. I'm timeless.
There before, the only man spit in my mouth I ever had was Willie Nelson. I just realized Jimmy Dore.
Holy shit. And that's the kind of baby that you want to...
No, that's the alchemy.
Hey, and here it is. Here's another opportunity for me to mention Marshawn Lynch. Okay? I knew nothing about this individual until he was on Club Random with Bill Maher, but Marshawn Lynch spit in Bill Maher's drink, which then started this cause and effect coincidental moments that occurred all from that, where he almost, the lampshade fell, he got up, he kicked the bottle over that was on the ground, the bottle rolled and it did hit the guitar that was hanging on the wall, which we had mentioned while we were looking at the show. I'm like, look at this guitar just being propped up on the wall, and then within 20 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes, a huge tequila bottle just about knocked it on its ass. All because of Marshawn Lynch's spitting in Bill Maher's drink. It was amazing, folks. Please take a look at the part 2. Part 1 is on the back end of a live stream, and then I've got a live stream titled Part 2 of Bill Maher and Marshawn Lynch. So make sure you see the first one, the part 1, which is on the stream prior to that. It's a wild one. I can't believe it. So he's spitting in drinks too. A lot of spit. And that's why I was liking Kurt Metzger just doing his telecasts like this. You don't need to sit down and do an interview with people, and you can just broadcast yourself or jump into a teleconference kind of thing, and otherwise you'll be spat upon.
Because they can have a baby now from 3 males, 3 females. It would be a baby with me, Willie Nelson, Jimmy Dore.
And that baby would save the world. That's what we need.
And the surrogate would be Anna Kasparian.
Throw in Candace Owens for fun, man.
Oh, listen, I want to ask Candace Owens to be my surrogate for my chimeric Willie Nelson, Jimmy Dore, Alex Jones baby. Candace, I'm a time traveler. This happens. You're going to carry the first publicly birthed, because they've got plenty of them, but they're not public yet, all-male chimeric baby. I'm asking you right now. We got to end on a lighter note.
You're the best. Thank you.
Let me throw something out.
Yeah.
They are trying to shut me down. They got all their rig stuff. They're trying at the end of March to shut me down. We got the Alex Jones Network set up, at AJ and Live on X, on Rumble, Real Alex Jones on X. They shut down InfoWars. Just search me on there. You'll find The Daily Show. I go 7 days a week. And you got to come on my show.
Anytime.
And I'll shut up and let you talk.
Anytime. I would be honored. Thank you.
I know you don't do it anymore, but neither do I, but not in at least a year or so. We should take acid on air.
Oh.
Yeah.
When's the last time you and Joe did that?
Oh, man, just based on the current sort of laws in America right now, and
You've never done it.
I've heard it that it is an amazing.
By the way, I want to say too, I just said that cool. I've never taken acid.
We've never taken it, but I would try it for the first time with you.
Yeah, well, we would lie and say we did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, duh.
And Jimmy Dore can sit in here like a sprinkler with iced tea in his mouth and go. Pss, 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 pss. Can you imagine that?
No.
Listen. I once paid Jimmy Dore to spit iced tea.
Okay, so that is Alex Jones and Duncan Trussell. That's part 2 of the saga. Pretty good stuff. See if we can find. Okay, yeah, so we're. You see this one? And what was the was the other one that we wanted to look at? It was what's the one with the island? Let's take a look at this. We got Hidden America, America. The truth about Epstein was never in the files. He's got a great page. Check him out. Subscribe.
Everyone keeps waiting for the Epstein Files to finally reveal something new. But the latest drop wasn't shocking.
Oh, well, this must have been an old one 3 weeks ago. Well, let's see what he's got to say.
Depressing. Plenty of names resurfaced. The same old rumors were recycled. The outrage was even quieter than expected. One of the bigger bombshells was just how much Elon Musk was awkwardly orbiting Jeffrey Epstein. Jay-Z appeared in the files, another reminder that the institutional rot goes far higher than anyone wants to admit. And honestly, most people are exhausted, so sick of the Epstein circus that it's hard to even want to talk about it anymore. But here's the thing. The truth about Epstein was never going to be found in the documents. It was built on the island itself. Welcome to Hidden America, where magic meets cybernetics and the code behind reality reveals itself. The files are like the Wizard of Oz, a loud, frightening machine designed to distract while the real mechanism sits in plain sight. For anyone with eyes to see, the symbolism of Epstein's Island already told the entire story. What follows is a symbolic and mythological analysis, not a claim about specific criminal acts beyond what is already documented. And one detail from the files may have unintentionally confirmed the entire story. Epstein reportedly maintained a bank account labeled Ball, and
That's wild. That's wild. And I appreciate it if you hit that like button, subscribe if you like all things conspiracy, comedy, podcast, and a bit of Kurt Metzger. We covered it all, and we get into a lot of detail. But here is Hidden America. This is 3 weeks ago. Is that when the big drop happened? Or was that... This must have been before.
name associated across ancient traditions with child sacrifice. That wasn't a coincidence. It was an occult signature, because the symbolism of Epstein Island was not random, decorative, or eccentric. It was a declaration, the most honest public revelation of the occult religion practiced by the global elite. The structure functioned as an alchemical machine of corruption, designed to guide initiates towards what occult traditions would call Luciferian enlightenment or apotheosis. But the temple wasn't the only symbol. The island itself mattered. Across occult traditions, initiation doesn't happen just anywhere.
Did you guys see how this resembles the Nickelodeon symbol? You've guys seen it. A lot of weird stuff. Apparently, they created SpongeBob SquarePants for the kids on the island to watch. That was the purpose of SpongeBob SquarePants. And then they just then released it to the public like a virus.
It happens in separated spaces, cut off from the normal world, and nothing does that better than an island. An island is a ritual boundary.
Yeah, and who else has an island? Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp's got an island.
Surrounded by water, isolated by nature, outside ordinary jurisdiction. Water isn't just geography, it's symbolic. It represents the unconscious, the abyss, the womb, the space where identity dissolves. To reach the island, you had to cross water. You didn't just arrive, you transitioned. That crossing matters. In mythology, crossing water marks the passage from one world to another. Baptism, the river Styx, initiation rites, death and rebirth. Epstein's Island functioned as the outer alchemical vessel, the hermetically sealed container. The temple was the engine, but the island was the flask. Nothing inside was meant to escape unchanged, and the location only deepens the symbolism. The island sits near the edge of the Bermuda Triangle, a region mythologized for disappearances, disorientation, and loss of navigation.
Wow.
Whether literal or symbolic doesn't matter. In occult logic, it represents chaos, the breakdown of order before reconstruction. The initiate enters, loses bearings, and is reassembled differently. Taken together, the island, the water, the temple, and the rites performed inside form a complete system, a sealed zone of transgression, a controlled abyss, not random, not accidental, designed. Viewed through the correct lens, the temple reveals the full symbolic doctrine of the elite. It was not a retreat, it was not a shrine, it was a statement of spiritual warfare. And the reason the media never properly discussed or even attempted to discuss the temple's symbolism is simple. To acknowledge it would be to acknowledge that this was not just a crime. It was one of the most openly ritualized structures of our lifetime. So let's break it down. One detail people often overlook is the entrance itself. The doorway beneath the dome isn't just an entryway. Symbolically, it mirrors what Masonic traditions call the Royal Arch of Heaven. In esoteric architecture, an arch represents a threshold between worlds, a passage from the profane into the sacred. In Royal Arch Masonry, the arch is associated with the recovery of hidden knowledge, the unveiling of what is concealed, and an entry into a higher spiritual domain. The arch isn't the destination, it's the gate, the threshold. The harpies above the temple were known to be the guardians of the threshold in Greek mythology. You pass through it only after preparation, only after separation from the outer world. In Masonry, the initiate doesn't merely walk into a building, they cross into a different ontological state. The arch marks the transition point between the ordinary self and the self that is about to be transformed. Seen this way, the structure follows a clear initiatory logic. The arch is the gate, the interior is the work, the ladder is the ascent, and the dome is the crown. This is not unique to any one group. It's a reoccurring pattern across mystery traditions, sacred architecture, and initiatory systems throughout history. The point isn't that the arch hides something physically secret. It's that it signals symbolically that what lies beyond it operates by different rules. Next is the walls of the temple. The temple was wrapped in blue and white horizontal stripes, 14 of them. To the uninitiated, it looks unintentional. To initiates, it's unmistakable, another Masonic signature. In Egyptian mythology, the god Osiris was murdered by his brother Set, dismembered into 14 pieces and scattered across the land. His wife Isis recovered 13 pieces. The missing piece, the phallus, was replaced through magic so that she could conceive Horus, the avenging son. Esoterically, the phallus represents the generative principle, the Masonic G. Osiris resurrected as Horus. This is not just a myth, it's allegory. The destruction of the old self, fragmentation, then reconstruction into something enlightened. 14 symbolizes ritual death and rebirth through occult knowledge. On Epstein's Island, those 14 stripes weren't subtle. They were a billboard, a message to initiates. This is where the old self dies and something else is made. Inside the structure, the symbolism continues. Flanking the interior space, the ritual space, are twin pillars, a feature that appears again and again in esoteric and initiatory architecture. In Masonic tradition, these pillars are known as Boaz and Jachin, the pillars of establishment and strength. Symbolically, they do not represent stability alone, they represent the threshold. To pass between the pillars is to leave the ordinary world behind and enter a ritual space governed by occult laws. Across ancient traditions, twin pillars mark the entrance to temples, underworlds, and initiation chambers, from Solomon's temples to Egyptian pylons to Greek mystery cults. This space between the pillars is not meant to be comfortable. It is a descent. In mythic language, it is the crossing into the underworld, the abyss or Hades, not as a place of fire, but as a realm of dissolution, where identity is stripped before transformation. Architecturally, the pillars frame what initiatory systems call the great work, the controlled breakdown of the profane self. Only after the symbolic descent does ascent become possible. Seen this way, the interior of the temple functions as a ritual chamber, a liminal zone between worlds, where the initiate symbolically dies before being remade. The pillars do not hide something physical, they signal something metaphysical. They mark the entrance into the abyss, the necessary precondition. In occult Jacob's ladder in the Bible, the ladder of the philosophers in alchemy, the Masonic ladder of initiation, the ladder of Kadosh. But the color matters. Red is blood, sacrifice, primal force. In Kabbalah, red corresponds to Jehovah, the pillar of severity, power, judgment, violence, not mercy. This is not the path of humility. It's the path of domination. The red ladder was a declaration, ascension fueled by suffering, power extracted through transgression, what occultists sometimes call the harvesting of spiritual energy, or louche, generated through trauma. It told
The
initiates exactly what kind of work was being done inside. Outside the temple, the ground itself completed the ritual. A mosaic pavement of alternating red and white mirroring the checkered floors of Masonic lodges and Rosicrucian chambers of reflection. These floors represent cosmic duality, light and dark, good and evil, spirit and matter. To walk that pavement is to step into a liminal space where moral law is suspended and opposites are reconciled. On Epstein's Island, this was the threshold. Step onto that floor and you weren't in the normal world anymore. You were inside an initiation chamber. Symbolically, the harpies atop the temple function as guardians of the threshold. Above it all sat the golden dome. In alchemy, gold represents the completion of the great work, the philosopher's stone, not physical gold, but
Stavros.
spiritual perfection, godhood, apotheosis. In Eastern mysticism, later absorbed by Western occultists, the crown chakra represents union with the divine. The dome was the crown. To reach it, one had to climb the red ladder toward Luciferian enlightenment, the pinnacle of the left-hand path, apotheosis. The message was explicit to the initiated. Epstein Island mapped the initiate's journey, the Mason's journey, the body below, the rituals within, and the crown above. Ascension. To the initiated, ascension is achieved through secret knowledge, gnosis, through ritual, and often through deliberate transgression. By violating taboos, they believe they transcend moral law itself. This is Luciferian apotheosis, not humility before God, but becoming one. When you assemble the symbolism, the design becomes terrifyingly clear. First, the entry, leaving the profane world behind. Then the pavement, the decay of morals. Then the 14 stripes, ritual death. Then the red ladder, ascension through power. And finally, the golden dome, the belief that one has become something beyond human. This was not a playground. It was
The red ladder. They had the red shoe club. McDonald's. Ronald McDonald wearing the red. If you believe in magic with a K, and I hope you do, you'll find a man who's wearing big red shoes. If you believe in magic with a K.
was a factory of Luciferian perfection.
Losing my audience on that one.
They became gods. Victims were broken and used. The perpetrators were bound to silence. Their shared participation forged a loyalty stronger than any contract. It was blackmail of the soul. The elites built their altar openly. They told the world exactly what it was for. And the silence surrounding it is not ignorance, it's complicity or cowardice. Because acknowledging the temple means acknowledging the truth. This wasn't just systematic abuse. In their symbolic worldview, it functioned as a kind of sacrament, the fuel or louche for their red ladder of sin. And the end goal is not chaos, but replacement, to tear down the foundation of all things God-centric and replace it with an occult religion centered on power, transgression, and self-deification. They didn't hide it. They assumed no one would know how to read it.
Well, another good one from Hidden America. His voice will put you in a trance. That locked in like a Metzger. That's how you gotta do it. Well, I appreciate it, guys. We're playing a little cleanup crew on this episode to tie in part 2 of Alex Jones. And we got a lot more in the pipeline. So we go on most evenings. Check us out. Give us a like. Subscribe. Having a lot of fun. And we'll do this again. You guys are great. Appreciate it. Oh my god. Oh man. That face. Just another Palantir puppet. Have a good night, folks. Have a good night.